I'm a designer, just making a delivery, I explained, brushing down hair from my forehead. He nodded. A designer? That's impressive. I am David, by the way. Remy, I replied, shaking his outstretched hand. Something about him felt different. He didn't look at me with judgment, nor did he size me up as if I were an option to be evaluated. It was just natural. I didn't expect to see him again, but life had other plans. David started showing up at my shop. At first, I thought it was a coincidence, but then he began making small talks, asking about my designs, my inspirations, and eventually my life. I kept my walls up. Men were always nice in the beginning, but then came the moment of truth. So, do you have any kid? I tensed. Here we go again. I looked him straight in the eyes. Yes, a son. His name is Damilare. I braced myself for the disappointment, the awkward silence, the subtle or outright rejection. But instead, David smiled. That's wonderful. I would love to meet him someday. I blinked. You don't mind? Why should I? He asked, tickling his head. Being a mother doesn't make you less of a woman, Rennie. If anything, it makes you stronger. Something inside me cracked open. A part of me that had been guarded for years, the part that had been told over and over that I was not enough, suddenly felt open. Could I dare to hope again? David and I started dating, but I was cautious. Too many scares, too many wounds from the past. But he was patient. He never rushed me, never made me feel like I was a burden. And when he finally met Damilare, it was as if he had known him forever. Hey, champ, he greeted him, crouching to his level. I heard you love cars. Want to tell me all about that? Damilare's eyes lit up as he began rambling about his favorite toy cars. And I stood there, watching them, a lump in my throat. For the first time, I saw something I never thought I would have. A man who didn't just want me, but wanted us. But the world wasn't ready to let me have happiness without a fight. You're making a mistake, Remy, my mother said one evening after David had dropped me off. What if he changes his mind later? What if he is just pretending? I swallowed hard. Mama, he loves me. He loves Damilare. She shook her head. Men always say sweet things in the beginning. You need to be careful. The fear crept back. What if she was right? What if I was just setting myself up for another heartbreak? That night, as I lay in bed, I stared at my ceiling, wondering if I should walk away before I get hurt again. David noticed my distance. Remy, what's wrong? He asked one evening as we sat outside a small cafe. I hesitated, then sighed. I am scared. Of what? That one day you will change your mind. That you wake up and decide you don't want a woman with a child anymore. David reached for my hands, his grip firm, reassuring. Remy, I won't lie to you. Love is a risk. But I know what I want, and I want you. I want Damilare. I'm not here for a temporary thing. I'm here because I see a future with you. Tears pricked my eyes. What if I am not enough? You already are. In that moment, something shifted. I realized that love wasn't just being about choosing. It was about allowing myself to be loved. And for the first time in a long time, I chose to believe in happiness again. A year later, I stood in front of a mirror, adjusting the lace sleeves of my white wedding gown. I had spent so many years believing I wasn't worthy of love, that my past has ruined my future. But here I was, about to walk down the aisle to a man who saw me, all of me, and still chose to stay. Damilare ran into the room, his small suit slightly oversized. "Mommy, Uncle said you should hurry." I laughed, scooping him into my arms. "It's almost time." As I stepped out, ready to begin this new chapter, I whispered a silent prayer of gratitude. Because in the end, Fred didn't just give me love, he gave me a family. And I was no longer just mocked for being a single mother. I was loved.